guys, and welcome to Exciting Times with Johnny. I am Johnny, and today we're going to read a book called Mahalia Mouse Goes to College. The skies of September were bursting with rain, pelting the old dormitory. It filled every gutter and choked every drain. Chapter 1 of Mahalia's story. A family of mice huddled up to keep warm. Their basement was flooded with water. The mother appeared out of the furious storm, then turned and addressed her young daughter. "Mahalia, darling," she said with a sigh, "your father's not back till tomorrow, so wrap up in newspaper, keep yourself dry, and find us some cheese or scrap of meat pie. The children are starving, babies may die." Then she flattered, consumed by her sorrow. Mahalia hugged her, then scampered outside, sheltered by clumps of wisteria. In minutes, she'd found a certain place to hide, in a hall by the dorm cafeteria. Nearby lay a backpack, unclaimed on the floor, smelling of cheese and roast beef. Mahalia climbed up inside to explore, like a seasoned, self-confident thief. She found a fat sandwich and plucked out the cheese, stuffing it into her sack. But suddenly, zip! A sharp sound made her freeze as everything faded to black. Imprisoned in the dark, she tumbled and tossed. But what could Mahalia do? Tormented by fears of a grim holocaust, she pictured her home and her family lost. A sackful of cheese had been bought at such cost. Mahalia's Tale, Chapter 2. The backpack went bump as it came to a rest. Then zip opened up to the light. Peeping outside it, the mouse was distressed by a strange, unfamiliar sight. A room unlike any she'd been in before, full of rows upon rows of young students. In terror, she's beat a retreat to the door, repenting her recent imprudence. But a voice held Mahalia fast in her place. "This course is extremely advanced. It controls the behavior of atoms in space, their collisions and fissions, their motion and pace. Don't take it unless you're an absolute ace." Mahalia Mouse was entranced. In her lonely new longings, she took the course on, overwhelmed by its daunting regime. But one night, as she slept in, the hour before dawn, her mother appeared in a dream. "My baby," she said, in a quavering voice. "You're off to a wonderful start. Don't think about us. Just believe in your choice. Be happy and follow your heart." Thereafter, whenever she sneaked into class, the mouse would recall every word. But one day, the midst of a lecture, Alice, the unthinkable finally occurred. "A mouse!" An ear-splitting shriek pierced the air, and instantly chose to hold. "Where?" people screamed. "Over there, over there!" So ran for an exit. Some leaped on a chair. Mahalia, trembling with fright and despair, felt the blood in her body run cold. All the people here are scared, you guys, because of the little mounds right over here. The professor stepped forward to calm the class down. He stood at Mahalia's side. He stared at her notes with a studious frown. "This mouse is a genius," he cried. "Her grasp of the subject is sharp as the blade. This rodent will study with me." By noon, he had kept the bold promise he'd made. Her books were all purchased. Her lab fees were paid. Her doubts and her fears were completely allayed. Mahalia's Mouse, Chapter 3. That day marked the start of 4 glorious years. Mahalia Mouse went to college, admired and respected by all of her peers. She gathered a broad range of knowledge. Along with her major, she dabbled in art, in history, math, and zoology. But one course especially captured her heart: the basics of human psychology. Activities filled Mahalia's days, for no shrinkling violet she. Fencing and football, recitals and plays, glee club, and squash, a brief square dancing phrase. At the end of 4 years of achievement and praise, it was time to receive her degree. As she giddily braced for her June graduation, 100 reports all sought her. And that's how her parents, in wild jubilation, stumbled on news of their daughter. At commencement, another word for graduation, Mahalia marched with her class. Perched on a friend's brawny shoulder, thousands of well-wishers saw the mouse pass, craning their necks to behold her. All at once she went pale. Her palms were like ice. Her face wore a stranger expression. Her eyes were transfixed by a family of mice crouched alongside the profession. And there she is, guys. And this is her family here. That's her family. My father, Mahalia cried as she skittered on down the ground. When she landed, her family rushed to her side, exploding with love, with relief, and with pride. A jumble of feelings too joyous to hide, for the child they have lost have been found. Everybody's now back together. And so we take leave of Mahalia's tale, a story of stout self-reliance, an epic account on a miniature scale of a mouse who set forth on life's bumpy trail and succeeded by simply refusing to fail. Mahalia's Bachelor of science. Oopsies. Okay. Well, that little fall was to wake you guys up so you guys know that we are done with the book. And there is Mahalia herself. If you guys like the book, make sure to tell family members and friends to subscribe, give likes, and stay tuned. See you in the next video. See ya! Subscribe!